What's up guys, Rideshare guy here, and today I've got a video for you about should you start driving with Lyft or Uber first. Now, I'm a little bit biased, I'll tell you guys right from the start, because I've always been a big fan of Lyft. They're the first company I started with. I think that they treat their drivers better and have a little bit of a better company culture in general. And, if you guys want to learn actually a little bit more about the differences between Lyft and Uber, I did record a video before that's been pretty popular. I'll leave a link below in the show notes. You can check that out. But if you're wondering which company you should start driving for, I think that you should actually start with a Lyft. And I'm going to give you a few reasons right now. So the first one is that Lyft, especially right now, is offering some pretty good sign-up bonuses. So a lot of the big cities like LA and New York are actually up to $1,000, San Francisco $1,000. And obviously these numbers change, and I'll leave a link below where you guys can check on the current bonuses. But even smaller places, even some of the cities like Denver, San Antonio that I saw were at $500. So right now, Lyft is offering pretty good bonuses. They've got a lot of money and they're spending it and paying a lot to drivers. So generally, you're required to do anywhere from 50 to 100 rides. And these things vary by city. Unfortunately, there's not just one easy kind of bonus and requirements for every single city. It's all different. But luckily, Lyft does make it pretty easy to check. I'm going to leave a link below in the show notes that goes to Lyft's official website, a page for driver referrals and driver sign-up bonuses that they actually do a really good job updating, which is another cool thing about Lyft, that they actually update their sign-up bonuses and provide them for public and by city. So you guys can check out that there. It definitely makes sure that you kind of follow all the requirements and all that good stuff. All you really need to do, though, to get started, though, is just sign up with someone's code in order to make sure that you'll get the bonus. You'll get a confirmation email with the amount and the requirements. And if you guys would like to use my link, I'll leave it below. Other than that, though, the other thing I really like about Lyft and why I think new drivers should get started is because it's a little slower, right? And I think that makes it easier to get adjusted. So what I found, especially out here in Southern California, is that when I do both apps, when I do Lyft and Uber at the same time, I get a lot more Uber requests first. And I think that that's especially true in other places across the country. Now, there's plenty of drivers out there doing Lyft full time and making good money, but I think when you're first getting started, it's nice to actually not get as many requests because you're just getting used to things. You're just getting the hang of things, right? And you don't want to have multiple requests coming in. As soon as you end a trip, you want to kind of maybe sit down, relax for a little bit and kind of think, hey, what happened? What did I do well? How can I improve? And things like that. And so unfortunately, that's kind of one thing that you might not be able to do with Uber because you'll be getting so many requests. So that's one thing I like about Lyft is that it is a little slower and it's easier to get adjusted. I mean, I remember my first time driving for Lyft, I literally went out and did one ride and I told myself, man, that's enough. All right, I've had enough. I quit for that day, obviously, right? And then I went back out on that weekend. So that's one thing that I definitely think is cool about Lyft. Another thing that definitely makes it good to get started with is actually rating. So one big pain point for new drivers is ratings. Now, both of these companies, Lyft and Uber, don't do a very good job providing feedback, telling you what you can do better, providing training. I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons why you come to a site like mine, and hopefully you're here on my YouTube channel checking this stuff out. But a lot of drivers often struggle with ratings, things like navigation, dealing with passengers. And, this stuff isn't rocket science, but it does take some experience. It does take some getting used to. And the thing that I like about Lyft's rating system is that they actually calculate your rating based off your past 100 trips. So whereas Uber actually calculates it based off your past 500 trips. So you can imagine that, let's say you're getting started and you're probably going to have some bad ratings at the start and you can't do a whole lot about it. You're getting used to things and maybe just navigating around and you make a mistake or two. And let's say you get rated lower. With Lyft, those low ratings will actually fall off your record sooner than with Uber, right? If you are, if they take the average of the last 500 trips and you have a bunch of bad ratings at the beginning, those are going to stay on your record forever and they'll have less and less of an impact. But the nice thing with Lyft is that, hey, you go out and do 100 rides. I mean, for some drivers, that's only 2 or 3 weeks and you'll have a brand new kind of fresh rating that won't take into account those early ratings where maybe you made mistakes. So you can kind of quickly avoid bad ratings. So that's definitely one thing that I like. And then the last thing that you guys should definitely kind of keep in mind is that, Lyft, when you get started with Lyft, that often enables you for the Lyft to Uber sign-up bonus. And so this would be a bonus where if you go sign up with Uber, normally they might offer a sign-up bonus just for getting started. They may not. But generally, if you start with Lyft and then come over to Uber, they'll offer an additional bonus. So that's kind of a cool thing that they haven't, from time to time, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. So you can actually check with Uber, support@uber.com. And that's pretty much the best way to verify what the sign-up bonuses are in your city and if they have a Lyft to Uber bonus. And I mean, I can tell you in some cases, they can be very profitable. In the past, I mean, I signed up with Lyft first and I did one trip on Uber and got a $500 bonus. And that was over a couple years ago. But they don't offer that bonus as often now. They might require 20 or 30 trips. And even in some cities, they're requiring you to be a power driver on Lyft, which basically means that you're a full-time driver on Lyft. And then if you come and do full-time driving for Uber for a few weeks, they'll offer you anywhere from $500 to $1,000. So for me, I think it makes a lot of sense to at least get started with Lyft. And since you open yourself up to the possibility of getting one of those nice Lyft to Uber bonuses. If there's nothing, you haven't really lost anything. If there's no Lyft to Uber bonus, just go sign up with Uber and start doing both. So hopefully this video helped you. If you guys are out there, you're a new driver, you're kind of deciding, hey, which company should I start driving for? Hopefully I convince you to sign up with Lyft. I mean, either way, if you also sign up with Uber, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. You'll still be making money and you can kind of eventually definitely leverage both at the same time and make even more money. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to leave a comment below and make sure that you like, subscribe, and subscribe to the channel, and talk to you guys soon. All right, take care.